If you're an American, imagine waking up to the news that Russian military bases have suddenly appeared just south of the border, in Mexico. Not just a few soldiers, but entire installations, missile systems, armored vehicles, and foreign troops stationed just a stone's throw away from Texas or California. The headlines would be everywhere, and the sense of unease would be impossible to ignore. Would you see this as a necessary act of self-defense by Russia, or as a direct threat to American security? Would it spark debates in Congress, heated arguments on talk shows, and worried conversations at dinner tables across the country? To understand the gravity, let's rewind to a moment when the world teetered on the edge of disaster. In 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis unfolded, and for 13 tense days, the world held its breath. The United States discovered Soviet nuclear missiles being installed in Cuba, just 90 miles from the Florida coast. The confrontation that followed brought the world closer to nuclear war than ever before, as American warships blockaded the island and both sides prepared for the worst. For Americans, this was an intolerable provocation, a threat that demanded an immediate and forceful response. The fear was palpable, and the crisis left a lasting mark on American memory. Fast forward to the present day. Today, NATO, with the United States at the helm, has established military bases and advanced missile defense systems throughout Eastern Europe, right up to the borders of Russia. These deployments are often described as defensive measures, designed to protect allies and deter aggression. To many Americans, these bases are a shield, a necessary precaution in an unpredictable world. They're seen as a way to keep the peace and prevent conflict from spilling over into allied nations. But from the Russian perspective, these same actions look eerily similar to what happened in Cuba 60 years ago. The presence of foreign troops and missiles so close to their own borders feels like a threat, not a reassurance. So here's the big question. If the roles were reversed, how would Americans react? Would the US government tolerate Russian missiles in Canada or Mexico, justifying it as a defensive move? Imagine Russian military convoys rolling through Canadian highways, or missile launchers being set up within sight of American cities. Would Americans accept this as legitimate self-defense, or would it be seen as a dangerous provocation that demands a response? Political leaders would likely call emergency meetings, and the public would demand answers. The sense of vulnerability would be overwhelming, and the pressure to act would be immense. History is full of moments like these, echoes of past confrontations that shape how nations see each other today. The line between defense and provocation is often blurred, and what feels like protection to one side can look like aggression to the other. In international politics, perspective is everything. What's called defense by one side can feel like a direct challenge to another's security. So next time you see a map dotted with military bases and shifting borders, ask yourself, how would you feel if the roles were reversed? Is it truly defense or is it provocation? The answer might depend on which side of the border you're standing.